Well, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Now, today on the table in front of us, we have, well, this thing is very cool. This is on loan to me from Kyle Lamphere. This is a Cheburkov Bear, and this is a really special knife. Now, this one is enormous and beautiful, and I don't have a lot of experience with Russian-made knives. I have some CKFs, but as you can see, this is a monster of a slightly different caliber. This one is older. It's been around a while. He is a collector of really high-end and sort of custom-y stuff. And so given the opportunity to check out some of his knives has been an absolute joy. Hopefully there'll be more down the road because I can't afford stuff like this. But it is fun to look at. So what do you get? Well, you get titanium, you get ceramic bearings, you get, in this case, S60V, CPM S60V steel, which I had to go investigate. It is a 440C base that they used for a while. Apparently Spyderco used it for a while. It is no longer being produced or used for a number of reasons. One, I guess it got a little brittle at really high HRCs, but it's like the best S30V ever is what I could find. It absolutely, when done just right, holds an absolutely wicked edge, has great rust and corrosion resistance. It was just a little hard to work with, so most companies have dropped it. But this is my first knife in S60V, and I had to go figure out what all that meant. Now, you guys know I like big knives. This is absolutely a big, beautiful knife. I mean, look at this blade shape. It's just gorgeous. The fuller. This is a spectacular pocket knife. Now, this is not going to be a particularly long review because I didn't take this thing out and put it through its paces. I cut some paper, sliced a little cardboard, wore it around in my pocket. But this is mostly just a gift to me from somebody with knives that I think are amazing, and I thought I would share it with you guys, so I hope you enjoy it. All of the hardware is anodized out deep bronze verging on purple. Everything else is titanium, including the pocket clip. The action is, well, otherworldly. It is so smooth. There is one thing, and this is an older knife, and I can sort of tell, there is no ramp for the detent ball, and so the blade hangs up right here. Now, I've had a number of knives that do this. They're usually older. Once you get past that, get the detent ball up onto the blade, it just slides closed. But it is something to look out for if you're playing with one of these. You go to drop it, it will hang up on you a little bit. The blade to handle ratio on this knife, if you look at this, they used just all of the available handle to pack this gorgeous blade in there. Now let's take a look at how much blade you get. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 inches of S60V on just a little over 4 1/4 inches overall length. It's astonishingly big. The handle from just behind the flipper is 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4, almost 5 inches long. This is just exactly my kind of monster. It has sort of a modernish aesthetic, which a lot of Russian knives tend to do. By way of example, again, you know, my CKF here is very similar, right? It has sort of a techno edge to it. This has been an absolute joy just to carry around and have at my disposal, not just because it's such a monster, but because, well, the build quality on this thing is insane. The tolerances are so tight. It's just a fantastic pocket knife. Let's do some, I don't know what the point is, but let's do some size comparisons just so you guys out there have a better understanding than just the numbers. Here it is against the Benchmade Bug Out. Okay. Here it is against the full-size Presidio 2, which is a big knife by anyone's standards, but not up against this monster. This thing is absolutely enormous, and I love it for that. The overall length on this beast, God, this thing is great, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 3/4 inches long. We're coming up on 10 inches. And yet, it is light in hand because it is very, very well balanced. Now, of course, light in hand for me and light in hand for you might be different. But I accept that. Right? We know I've got big hands and I like big knives. This thing is amazing. Some of you may be asking, am I going to go chase one? Well, maybe. The longer I have it here at the house, the more I fall in love with it, the more I find myself wondering if one of these could be found. Now, later versions came in S90V. I think there was even a couple of M390 versions of this knife. So this knife has had a number of iterations after this early model with more common steels. It is... Well, this one's special because it's, you know, the S60V. But man, I'll tell you, if I could find one of these in a more common steel at a price point that wouldn't make me have to eat top ramen for the next 6 months, I'd probably get one. Let's weigh it. I'm just curious. It doesn't feel that heavy in hand, but we will find out together. Keeping in mind this is almost 10 inches long. Yeah, we are 7.3 ounces. Now, that's a lot of knife, but 7.3 ounces for over 4 inches of blade steel is damn good. A lot of thought went into this thing. I'm looking. I'm not seeing a ton of milling in there, but I assume there must be some. It comes with a really interesting leather case, but also an exceptionally functional pocket clip. But in the case, which I think is beautiful, it becomes sort of a belt knife, and at this size, I guess that just makes sense. There we go. I think that also tells you the generation in which it was made. You know, a number of years ago, a lot of knives came with belt sheaths as well as a pocket clip, because not everybody carried a pocket knife in their front pocket the way we do today. So, there's that. It came with a COA, Certificate of Authenticity card, that is gorgeous and all in Russian. I have no idea what this says, but I do know that it is signed and dated and very, very cool. I love the action on this knife. I really do. Let's get the blade stock out of the way. At its thickest point, you get 3.5 millimeters of that S60V steel. The handle through the middle is a little over 12 millimeters, or under a ½ inch. Look, I'm not kidding. This thing is a monster, but it's also a really nice carry. If, see, there's that hang up. If you've got pockets that are deep enough, because closed, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half plus a little inches long. It eats up a lot of pockets. So if you got pants with short pockets, it's never going to fit. I love this knife. I just do. It is. So I had a Snafu 2.0, the Rosani design from CKF, and it, you know, a lot of people love that knife. They think of it as a grail, and it is. It's an expensive knife. It's beautiful. I ended up not keeping it because it just didn't work for me. This is a little simpler, a little tougher, and a lot more interesting to me. I would have kept this if I had bought it at the time. So that, I think, says everything that I need to. This is the Cheburkov. It is well, it's just beautiful. So this is the Cheburkov Bear in a very unique steel with a very unique style and pattern. I hope you've enjoyed looking at it. I know I have enjoyed having it here to share with you guys. Do I recommend you go out and get one? I have no idea. That's up to you. These things are crazy expensive. But if you're looking for a grail that not everyone has, if you're looking for a knife that is worthy of grail status and yet totally functional, this might be it. I think it's beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.